Hello, and welcome to my new podcast, Loving Our Fears. My name is Shikha Rastogi. What an incredibly complicated this past year has been. The virus has brought us down literally to our knees, and fear seems to be the biggest theme wherever you look. We are afraid of losing our health, our finances, our relationships. Heck, we are afraid of dying. But if you look back on the history of humanity, I don't think any of us will doubt that fear has always been part of our lives in the background. It's been one of the driving forces behind so many of our misguided actions that have resulted in so many wars. However, in the last 1 year of this pandemic, fear has taken on a completely different meaning because it's no longer in the background. Instead, fear has come to the forefront, to the surface. Fear is out there in our faces, staring back at us, and we need to find ways to deal with it. And one of the most common ways to deal with fear is to try to ignore it, maybe fight with it, pretend it's not even there. But as you may have already realized, if you're one of those people who has been dealing with fear, none of these strategies work. And you know that they don't work because fear is still there. You still feel afraid. And I know so much about fear because I am someone who lived in a constant state of anxiety for several years. And because of all my fears, I would be in a constant battle with my fears, hoping that if I didn't allow myself to feel them, they would just go away. But guess what? They never did. They only got stronger, and as a result of my resistance and unwillingness to feel them. But it was only when I started to learn how to acknowledge them, invite my fears into my body, and allow myself to feel them to the point where they just dissolved, is when little miracles started to happen for me. My fears started to let go of me. So, starting next week, through this podcast, I would like to begin this journey to start peeling the layers of our fears, and in the process, I will show how you can learn to view your fears as a young child waiting to be loved and hugged. I will show you how to stop fighting with your fears and how to start loving them, just being with them. So I invite you to come along on this fascinating journey with me.